We have protected state properties, preserved the nation's rights, and fought up claims for billions of United States dollars against the state, even in situations where a particular decision of a minister is impugned by an international tribunal. The most remarkable feature of this involvement is that a sizable amount of this litigation is conducted by personnel of the Office of the Attorney General, led by the Attorney General himself and his deputies. Such is the strength of the capacity of the office that now memorials, pleading, security submissions filed by the office compares favorably with those filed by any lawyer on the international stage. And we defend these claims in the face of the severe constraints of challenges which have always characterized working in the Office of the Attorney General when representing the state in these actions. And indeed, I must state that I'm aware that some hide advocates for these unsuccessful claimants against the state and self-styled social commentators masquerading as civil society and expert in all subjects, except perhaps the creation of man, hastily take to social media to denigrate the effort of the state in defending such gargantuan claims, and in fact, distort the effect of awards and judgments in favor of the state. I can only say in reply that there ought to be a modicum of patriotism. Ironically, these same people are quick to trumpet adverse awards given against Ghana in the past, obviously basking in the joy of such situations. Can they just pause for a moment to reflect on what would have happened to the Ghanaian economy if even a fraction of these claims for billions of US dollars and trillions of Ghana cedis has succeeded? In the area of prosecution, the Prosecutions Division has ably lived up to its constitutional duty of being the prosecutor of all crimes in the country. They have pursued justice with courage based on the evidence and the law in a way that makes me very proud. Even though prosecution of so-called high-profile economic crime is often thwarted by unjustified delays occasioned by the filing of unnecessary applications and frivolous interlocutory appeals. In a country where prosecution of the perceived high and mighty is often mischaracterized as persecution and sometimes unfairly scrutinized by the courts, they have braved all challenges. When rulings and judgments adverse to their interests are given, in the best tradition of the profession, they have appealed against him, and many a time they have been justified in that cause. The past 4 years have been interesting for the Prosecutions Division as it surmounted novel challenges, including conducting trials that they were hitherto unfamiliar with. I led them to conduct a historic high treason trial, one never experienced in this country for many decades before. We secured conviction of 6 out of the 9 surviving accused persons put on trial. In response to some strange and deplorable attempts by certain elements to cause a fragmentation of the borders of the country, the prosecution team defended the territorial integrity of the Republic by instituting criminal proceedings against over 100 people in all the high courts at Wahoo and Accra for secession, another unusual prosecution. Fortunately, most of the accused have so far been convicted. Illegal mining, Galamsey, continues to cause incalculable damage to our forest reserves and water bodies. In the teeth of the difficulties prosecutors encounter in the courts in the prosecution of illegal mining offenses, the Criminal Division has enjoyed some success, even though there is still room for more to be done. From August 2021 to date, at least 76 persons, including 18 foreigners, have been convicted. They include the acclaimed Chinese Galamsey Queen, Aisha Huan, who was convicted on 4th December 2023 of offenses committed between 2014 and 2016 in the era of the previous government. Most of the convicts were sentenced under the new law at 995 to a minimum of 15 years plus a hefty fine for a non-Ghanaian. Currently, over 140, minimum of 15 years plus a heavy fine in the case of a Ghanaian, and a minimum of 20 years plus a fine for a non-Ghanaian. Currently, over 140 cases of illegal mining involving over 850 accused persons are being prosecuted in courts in the Western, Eastern, Ashanti, Greater, and Upper East regions of Ghana. Some are near conclusion. The unsung heroes of the Office of Attorney General are the Legislative Drafting Division. They are that army of well-disciplined, properly trained, meticulous lawyers whose task it is to set the legislative framework for all we do. Without them, none of the 3 arms of government can function. The Legislative Drafting Division has been responsible for carrying my vision of law reform in both civil and criminal aspects of the law. They have paid a great attention to the public policy of the law and have drafted in all about 60 acts of parliament and innumerable subsidiary legislation since 2021. Whilst placing on record the yeoman's effort to the various divisions of the Office of Attorney General and Ministry of Justice, which have kept the nation safe and sound, we cannot ignore the hitherto deplorable conditions in which state attorneys work. My visit to the head offices of various agencies under the Ministry of Justice revealed hugely undesirable working conditions and the lack of basic tools for service to the nation. In order to address this, in February 2022, on account of a directive made by His Excellency the President for the Minister for Finance to urgently assist the ministry with some funds for its operations, I purchased 91 vehicles for the ministry, which to date represent the biggest fleet ever acquired for the ministry. Thus, the Legal Aid Commission, which previously had only 6 vehicles, received 13 more. The Economic and Organized Crimes Office added 13 vehicles to their fleet. The Council for Law Reporting, which had only 2 vehicles, received 4 more. The Law Reform Commission, which had only 1 vehicle, acquired in 1996, received 2. Two indeed makes a difference to some people. The Copyright Office, whose last vehicle was acquired in 2008, during the time of Honorable Joe Gatti as Attorney General, received 2 more.